New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is clapping back after being accused of deliberately hiding his state's true nursing home death toll. He defends blocking the release of the actual numbers while also, of course, blaming the Trump administration. Take a listen.
We didn't want an inaccurate number because then everybody would say, oh, it's inaccurate. This was all politics and all a political football that then morphed into an investigation.
Well, for more on this, let's bring in Accuracy in Media President Adam Guillette. Adam, you probably heard that Governor Cuomo insists his team was merely taking their time to get the numbers absolutely correct before they gave the correct numbers of deaths in nursing homes. Do you buy that?
I don't buy anything that monster says. You know, previously people were getting sick from COVID. Now we get sick merely from hearing that man talk. Everything he says is a lie. His policies caused thousands of deaths. He covered it up. He's now under federal investigation, thank goodness. But it really speaks to privilege. Leftists think they can get away with anything, and usually the media lets them do just that.
Unfortunately true. He also said former President Trump was behind what he called political investigations, blamed it all on Trump. And he said former Attorney General Bill Barr was a political operative and that all this was done because they were fearful that the Trump administration was going to come after them for political reasons.
Yeah, obnoxious. How long are we going to have to listen to these sorts of lies? The man has to go. And what I want to know is, where's the cancel culture crowd? Those people, the Twitter mob online, those woke folks, they go after people for old jokes that were un-PC and made 10 years ago. This is a guy who caused thousands of deaths, who sexually harassed or assaulted potentially a half dozen women, all while using government resources to write a book on leadership. When are they going to cancel him?
It is extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, and as you say, although there have been these stories, obviously, and now he's under multiple investigations, sexual harassment, the nursing home death is under investigation. He seems to be kind of just toughing this out. I mean, he's up again, talking again about running again for the Democratic nomination. I mean, it's pretty remarkable, and it does, as you say, it's a kind of a media that just as it does with Joe Biden, kind of covers for him, right?
That's exactly right. When these politicians think they can get away with anything, they'll try everything. And that's exactly what he's done. And now he thinks the media is going to let up on it. I'm glad this channel is still covering it. At Accuracy Media, we've been trying to keep the story alive, too. Last week, we had a mobile billboard parked in front of the Emmys. Because let's not forget, the worst award given since Milli Vanilli got a Grammy, Andrew Cuomo got an Emmy for his press conferences where he lied to people. So we've had a mobile billboard that said, Cuomo lied, thousands died, with our website, cuomolied.com. We've been interviewing the family members of some of his victims, and we're going to make sure that this man is held accountable.
Do you think that there is any chance that, you know, again, as you say, the media have kind of moved on, it seems, from these stories? Do you think there is any chance that pressure can be brought to bear? I think part of the problem, as I see it, is that he's kind of now the captive of the left in the New York Democratic Party, right? And they kind of he has to go along with whatever they want. He did it over the budget. He's done it over taxes. He's doing it over handouts for illegal immigrants in the state. So it kind of suits them, doesn't it? It suits the left to keep him in place because they know that but that he's only there by their kind of permission.
Yeah, that's right. They're happy to have him around because they know he'll go along with what he'd like. And again, what does that say about this man? That the media at this point, New York Times has gone after him. Democrats have called for his resignation. How bad do you have to be that you were once the media darling and now members of your own party want you to go? I mean, that's a new level of horrendous behavior. I think if the pressure is kept up, I think if we keep this story alive, I think if they revoke his Emmy, I think eventually he's going to have to go. There are investigations going on. I think eventually we might see an impeachment, which would be a wonderful thing to see. Politicians must know that they can't get away with this sort of thing.
And just briefly, Adam, the contrast of the media coverage a year ago of Andrew Cuomo and Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, and on every single measure, deaths, hospitalizations, seriousness of COVID, the economic performance, it's absolutely clear that DeSantis did a better job, and yet the media treated DeSantis as some kind of a monster, and Andrew Cuomo as the hero.
But that's exactly right, and I'm a proud Floridian. I remember when they ran those stories about how horrible it was that we were reopening the beaches in Florida, because what's more dangerous than being outside, socially distanced from people, swimming in the ocean? Well, I'll tell you what's more dangerous. forcing nursing homes to accept COVID-positive patients. If you look at the death totals from Cuomo's actions versus anything that might have come from us being allowed to socially distance in the sand, it's morally outrageous the way the media covers these stories. They treat us Floridians like we're fools and treat Cuomo like he's a savior, when in reality the man's a lying murderer who potentially sexually assaulted women, and us in Florida are having a darn good time.
Adam Guillette, I actually am old enough to remember Milli Vanilli getting honoured for their questionable performances, and I know exactly what you mean. Adam Guillette, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.